Hi Gemini, welcome to your 2014 year ahead astrology forecast. Now this is a general reading for Sun in Gemini, Moon in Gemini, and Ascendant Gemini. Your ruling planet Mercury retrogrades 3 times in 2014. The first one is February 6th through February 28th. It starts out in Pisces and then it backs into Aquarius and spending most of its time in Aquarius, which is a sister sign for you. So this one should feel pretty good. And it'll be an opportunity to improve your work situation, look at your beliefs, look at your travel plans. You know, you may not want to travel during that time, long distance travel, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. And Aquarius does harmonize with you, so it will feel lighter. And, you know, Mercury has to do what he has to do. And we can't always be in forward motion. The second Mercury retrograde will start on June 7th through July 1st, 2014. And that's in Cancer and then in your sign. So it's in the water, but then it backs into Gemini. That one can be a little hairy, you know, because when Mercury retrogrades in our own sign, it's just really weird. You know, it's like your brain's going, but your mouth, it's like, bleh, bleh, bleh. You know, you try to talk and the words won't come out, or they come out, they're not what you were thinking. And so that's during your birthday. So a lot of you will have Mercury retrograde in your solar return charts. When it's retrograde in your solar return chart, that's the time to reflect, hold your cards close to your chest. You don't need more knowledge or information. You know, you're already filled to the brim. It's more of reevaluating your best strategies. So that'll be interesting, and I'll talk more about that when we get to your birthday cycle, late May, June. Then the final retrograde will be in Scorpio, then back into Libra, another sister sign, October 4th through the 25th. So these are good retrogrades because they're going to spend most of their time in the air signs, which are a lot lighter than the water signs. And these are sister signs to you, Aquarius and Libra, which means the Mercury is harmonizing with you. And so it's actually helping you. And it's good to review and reflect and reevaluate and strategize so that when the messenger goes direct, you're ready to take action. You're ready to make things happen. Now, Mars is really helping you in 2014. And in fact, I think many of you may prefer 2014 to 2013. Mars is helping you in 2014 because Mars is in your sister sign, Libra, for 8 months. Mars is in Libra and will be in Libra till July 27th, right till the end of July, and has been in Libra since December 8th. So this is an awesome energy for you because Libra rules true love, romance, creative risk-taking, self-confidence. It rules sports, your children, love affairs, taking risks, being outgoing. So Mars is pouring all of this gutsy, positive, bravado energy into the Geminis going, go for it. You know, call that person up. You know, start that new project, start that new job, make things happen. So this is like really big energy in self-expression. So I think the Geminis are really going to be on fire in 2014 and very creative. And what Mars is doing with you is Mars is unearthing unutilized talents, gifts, and abilities. Treasures are buried deep. And Mars is causing those gifts to be brought out into the open, where all of a sudden you realize you're really good at something. Or you've had it all along, but you just weren't marketing it right. You just weren't using social media correctly. Now you're going to be able to do that, where your talent, your skills, and your abilities are going to be showcased, and then you can market them to the masses and really go for it in 2014. Really go for it. This is so exciting. So I see a lot of brilliant energy here for the Geminis. Now Mars is kicking off the Pluto-Uranus. And For you, this has to do with what you love and value, what your husband or wife loves and values, what other people loves and values. It has to do with your money-making abilities. It has to do with money you get from your husband or your wife, or insurance payout, or royalty payout, or money owed to you other than earned income. It also has to do with love affairs, true love, romance. It has to do with unexpected opportunity, making new friends, new connections, unexpected. Okay. So the Pluto-Uranus is like this for all of us. We got our ups and downs with it. And Mars in Libra is triggering it. So you'll kind of get a feel for what I'm saying at the first of the year on New Year's Day, because we have the Capricorn new moon at 11 degrees Capricorn forming a grand square or a cross, which is 4 squares and 2 oppositions. So it's really intense. It's really powerful. It's like all the planets are talking. Everyone has something to say, and Mars is leading the way. Well, Mars is in Libra, which is about fairness and justice, relationships, balance, okay? And so this energy is ongoing until Mars finishes with its last opposition on June 25th. So Mars is going to be going over the Pluto-Uranus and Jupiter, because Jupiter is in Cancer. Now, Jupiter is in your area of money. So money improves for you this first half of 2014 until Mars goes into Leo until Jupiter goes into Leo on July 17th. But Leo harmonizes with you. Leo is fire and you're air, and the air feeds the fire and the fire feeds the air. So you could, for some of you, you may be getting a new car in 2014, when the Jupiter goes into Leo. Or you will be really marketing your new unearthed talents, gifts, and abilities through social media. You'll be writing like crazy, and you'll be amazing at it. So, and I mean, writing, speaking, teaching, singing, whatever your craft is, you will be sharing it with the masses, and it'll be glorious. So we do have to deal with the Uranus-Pluto. They go exact on April 21st, 2014, and then again on December 14th, and Mars is going over all of them. And, I'll go into detail on the monthlies about the Mars, specifically activating them in January, February, March, April, May, June. With Mars and Jupiter, it's action forcing growth, growth forcing action, but it can increase physical strength. With Mars and Pluto, it brings up your bravery and courage. With Mars and Uranus, this is about your freedom and your independence. With Jupiter and Uranus, this is about innovation and new technology. Remember, necessity is the mother of all inventions. When we need to produce, we make it happen. This is, like I said, another year with the ups and downs with the Pluto-Uranus. For you, it has to do with the love you give to others, the love you receive from others. You could be like cutting yourself free from groups that no longer serve you, or friends that aren't doing it for you. You're going to do some of that. Don't be surprised if you just decide, I don't want to be part of this group anymore, or I don't want to go to this networking event anymore, or I don't know why I'm hanging out with this person anymore. We really don't line up anymore. And that's okay, because you're evolving. And when you release what no longer serves, you create the space for better, more opportunities, better friends, better connections to come in and be part of your life. And that's always a good thing. So Uranus is really lighting up this part of your life. Uranus is in the area of goals and hopes and wishes and sudden opportunity and breakthroughs and an increase in income. So there is some good fortune there too for you. And Venus is working for you too, because Venus is in the area of your partner's resources, sexuality, the deeper mysteries of life, and she's retrograde until February 1st. So she'll be in this part of your life until March 5th. And so she's heating up your sexuality, she's heating up your partner's resources, and so this is a good time to eliminate or reduce debt. You know, in 2014, any debt that you want to get rid of, go for it. Restructure your taxes, insurance, all of those fun things. Pluto wants you to restructure them, and so that you have more money coming in and more money staying. And Jupiter's helping with that too, because Jupiter is in Cancer and will be in Cancer until July 17th, and that is in your money sector. Jupiter is in the area of your money and your investments, your self-worth, your self-respect. So Jupiter is really helping you to increase your money, increase your talent, your ability, your resources, and that continues until Jupiter jumps into Leo. But Jupiter in Leo creates new opportunities for you in 2014. New opportunities to make new connections, new opportunities to improve relationships, new opportunity to communicate more effectively, new opportunity to market your services or your products to the masses. So, then you have a larger following, or clients, or patients, or customers, and then you have more money. And so Jupiter is a great ally for you. And, when Mercury is retrograde, it's okay to, not make big plans, because, it does irritate delays and distractions and mixed messages. So it's appropriate to wait until Mercury goes direct. And I'll go into that in detail in the monthly forecast. Now, we have 4 eclipses in 2014. The first eclipse is in Libra, a sister sign to you. And that's in the area of true love, romance, risk-taking. Mars is there. And so for those of you in relationship, this may really activate, the need for more romance from your partner, or the need to be more on board with each other, more intimate. For those of you that are not in a relationship, this could bring a relationship for you. And so single Geminis could meet someone very significant in 2014. And that's because Mars spends 8 months there, and then the eclipses start to happen there. So we have the first total lunar eclipse in your love sector, April 14th and 15th. And then we have a partial annular solar eclipse, April 28th, 29th, at 9 degrees Taurus. And that happens more in the spiritual aspect of life. Then we have a total lunar eclipse again, October 8th and 9th at 15 degrees Aries. And that is in the area of the love you receive from others. And then the final eclipse is at 0 degrees Scorpio. And that has more to do with your work, your lifestyle, and your health habits. And so, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So here's this big heat up going on here in the love sector for Geminis. And this is all about networking, being out in the public, connecting with others, creativity, creative self-expression. And romance is really big. So those Geminis that are single and looking for a soulmate, this energy in 2014 could bring one. Mars is men. Mars is there 8 months for the female Geminis, or the male Geminis that are looking for a male. But it also can be a woman too. Okay, so it's really on for Geminis in 2014. Love, relationships, creativity, growth. And now the work area, Saturn is still there. So you want to avoid cold, damp, gloomy places. You want to avoid negative people, especially that are coming through the work. And, you know, the last Scorpio eclipse there may be some finishing touches that you're doing to, you know, changes at work, changes in your daily routine, changes in your lifestyle, but changes that you want. This is a really strong year for you. And these are changes that you want. And so, you know, by the end of the year, by, you know, late October, you may be feeling, okay, you know, I have accomplished an enormous amount and I finally have my work where I want it. Especially as Saturn leaves Scorpio and goes into Sagittarius, which is your 7th house, which is relationships. That's when, you know, some of you could get married or get engaged, where you really commit to the other person, where you really get serious about relationship, and your work really starts to improve in 2014. You know, because wherever Saturn is where we're being tested. And for you, it's been in the area of health and work, you know, from part of 2012, all of 2013, and most of 2014, because Saturn goes into Sagittarius on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2014. So from now until then, you're still working with Saturn in that work area, you know, where sometimes we can feel underappreciated by people, not recognizing our value. But I think that's going to change with Mars in here, and your social media skills really picking up in 2014. And if you work with Neptune, you know, yes, Neptune is confusing. Yes, Neptune can make us feel like we don't know where anything's going, but it doesn't mean anything's not good. Okay? The challenge with Neptune is it's mostly psychological. So in other words, we're creating the fear in our mind, right? It isn't that anything's wrong, okay, or that you're not on the right path or you're not in the right profession. It's more like things aren't happening as fast as you'd like, so you think they're wrong, but they're not. And so work will definitely improve in 2014. Neptune is direct, and so, you know, up until June, then Neptune goes retrograde, and that's where it can get a little, you know, confusing again, but it's direct. And if you're on a spiritual path, like you're in service to the planet or whatever it is you're doing, you're coming from your heart, you're protected. You're going to be fine. And Mars is really kicking it in gear for you this year. And so is Jupiter working for you. So you got a lot of help, a lot of allies in here working to help you, working to empower you, working to make things right for you. You could have unexpected, you know, new opportunities in work. You could have unexpected breakthroughs, sudden, you know, money coming your way that you didn't even expect, that all of a sudden is here, and you're being given this promotion, you're being given these really awesome new clients, and or patients, or whoever your public is, whoever you work with, can really be coming through for you in 2014. It's brilliant. Like you could even like meet new friends that are like brilliant. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I connected with so-and-so because they're really helping me, and they're helping me bring out my gifts. And so this is a good year. This is going to be a year where you're giving and receiving love. Love is on fire for you in 2014. And it's okay if you want to be assertive in the area of love, because Mars is there for 8 months. And if you find like, you know, you want to call the guy, do it, you know, or you want to let the guy know you like him, do it. Okay, because Mars is there, and energy, you know, action speaks louder than suffering. So don't just, you know, oh, I want this person to like me, but just let them know you like them. Invite them for coffee, you know, and watch what changes in your life. Like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. Come to find out he really likes me, you know. And so, you know, go for it. Use the Pluto and the Uranus to eliminate unnecessary debt. Use it to restructure debt. Get rid of debt, right? The less debt we have, the more cash we keep. Yay! And the thing with Uranus is you do want to watch your nervous system, because you're Gemini, and Gemini rules the nervous system. Mercury rules the nervous system. And so you want to watch for overload at times where you're like, wow, I had 72 cups of coffee. I really didn't, but I feel like I had 72 cups of coffee. Wow! And so that's one of the Uranian things. But again, I'll be talking about it month to month when I get in and do the monthlies on what's live this month. But overall, I really like what I'm seeing here for you. You've got really big energy in 2014 for self-expression, for a real strong presence, and really going for what you want. And your gifts are going to improve. Your money is going to improve. You're going to have breakthroughs. So don't let the Neptune fog you out. Don't let the Neptune, for the early Geminis, that first week of Geminis, if you're feeling the Neptune, like, oh, Neptune's here, hey, I've had to work with it for years. You just kind of go with it. You know what I mean? Like, you go on faith. That's what Neptune really requires of you, is I'm going to have faith and trust that everything's going to work out. And when you have faith and trust that everything's going to work out, it does. And so I even think the retrogrades are working for you. And the eclipses are working for you. So you got the eclipses working for you, you got the retrogrades working for you. So what if Neptune's kind of foggy and wishy-washy? That's not bad, and you got, a lot of creative energy in here. Some of you could meet your soulmate this year. Or, like I said, you could take the relationship to the next level, that you're already committed and you love the person you're with. But relationships take time. We need to have time to put time into them. And so this will be a reminder that you want to, have romance together. You want romance. You want to, show your love for each other, show your commitment for each other. And that's always awesome too. Now I have coaching tools here to work with the energies in 2014. And one of them is the shift for visionaries. Many of you are visionaries, and visionaries have their own set of challenges. And so use this tool to empower you to create a better life in 2014. Use the tools on my homepage, on my website, that are my gifts to you, that will empower you in 2014. And again, I'll go into detail the month to month about, what the Mars is doing, what the Uranus and Pluto and the Chiron and the Neptune and the Jupiter and all that good stuff. Remember, you are the master of your destiny, and you're here to have a great life. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, favoring, and sharing my podcast, Gemini. You're so awesome. Thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. And if you would like to work with me, it's very easy. The links are below. And until next time, who cares if the sky cares to fall in the sea? Who cares what banks fell at Yonkers, as long as you've got the kiss that conquers? Why should I care? My life is one long jubilee, as long as I care for you and you care for me.